I hope everyone can see me well. Do we love it? We'll do an outfit rundown in the intro. We'll do a full intro. We got some goodies in here. We're gonna unleash the bag of horrors. Hey divas, it's Lookin Bratz, aka Dom. Welcome back to my channel. Now, in a normal world, I would be over there on my computer being a little geek and being like, running down through each little detail on the website, but what we're gonna do is go through my bins of stuff. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, which if you aren't, I would appreciate a follow. I do post some stuff on there that I maybe don't post on other socials, like here on YouTube. I just wish there's one platform sometimes where you just have everything, and every platform tries to be that, and it doesn't always work. So it's like, where do you go? And it feels like you have to be everywhere at once. So I want to do more stuff on YouTube, so this is me doing more stuff on YouTube, as well as just trying to have some fun. Like, I'm bored. I would spend this time normally like playing a video game or watching a show or rotting away in my bed. And I'm like, let me go do something productive at least, even if it's just like reminiscing about things. I think it might, be a little bit healing in a way. I feel like 2015, that year, it meant a lot to me in a lot of different ways, but it also was a hard year for me personally, but we'll talk about that later. I will say, I filmed a video last night, and it's one I'm going to be hosting on my birthday, August 15th. And I'm a Leo, if you can tell, girl. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun video. It's an emotional video, and I'm definitely not going to be as emotional, I think, in this video as I am in that one, but I have a little bit of time to, like, mentally prepare for that, I guess. I'm excited though. I'm excited to do this video. Before we really get into this video and start digging through bins and going through this surprise purse, this is a bag I got from Five Below. Not sponsored. Glasses from Gentle Monster, kind of sponsored. And then my Bratz Italian key charm. I have Bratz music playing in the background off of lookinbratz.com. As you can see in the background, if you want to follow along and see some of the things that we're talking about, check out lookinbratz.com. Links all in the description. I am not going to be editing this video too much because I'm on a tight deadline here. I'm filming this just a few days before. I'm not as prepared, but I'm very inspired. So I want to go through things. I want to talk about things. If you want to follow along, feel free to, like, no pressure. I do think it's a great experience either on mobile or on your tablet or on your desktop, laptop, wherever you need to use it. It's available to use. It's at lookinbratz.com. You don't have to hold the G if you don't want to. I bought both domains. But we're gonna be doing a fun little video today. We're going to be going through 2015 Bratz. I have my AC on because I am in New Jersey and it has been humid and just disgusting outside. Disgustingly hot outside. It is our summer. So we're going through a heat wave and there's been earthquakes and just to everyone going through something right now, I wish you the best of luck because I know right now is like uncertain literally everywhere. We're going to be talking about 10 years ago. We're going to be flashbacking in time. And it doesn't feel like something that was 10 years ago, but it also does feel like it was a lifetime ago for some reason. Like, I feel like so much has happened in those 10 years, and I'm such a different person 10 years ago than I am now. And I would say when I was 10 years old, that did not feel old, but even when I was 16, I was like, I still don't feel that old. Although I wanted to be older at that time. But now I'm 26, I'm turning 27 next month. And I'm like, wow, I feel a little old. But it's okay. Like, I feel good about life. I'm fine where I am right now. And I'm excited to, like, dig through these bins and find out what's in them. And I'm hoping people enjoy this video because, like, Bratz fans, if you're into like the really niche stuff and just talking about stuff, I just like talking about stuff. And I have accumulated a lot of stuff because I love Bratz. And I think I've made that very clear. Cup from Amazon Marketplace. In the description, link is there if you want to see all my Bratz stuff that I buy off Amazon or things that I would like to buy off of Amazon. It's not a wish list. It's like, I have an affiliate link, so like I do earn a little commission if you buy from Amazon, but that's it. So no pressure, but it does help me because that website is freaking expensive. I'm talking about lookinbratz.com. We're gonna pull out some goodies. This is one of the first things I received back in 2015. So I'm gonna set the stage for myself because it's gonna help me out as I talk about it. Also, necklace is by Doll Cultist. Doll Cultist is a trans Mexican doll repaint artist and also makes jewelry. And I love this necklace I saw and I was obsessed. He has an Etsy shop, Doll Cultist, so check him out. I wish I had a second camera zooming in on my neck. I do have a second camera, but it's charging. And I'm not there with tech yet. But I do have a lot of tech going on right now, we'll say. So leading up to the 2015 launch, there was a lot happening. So Bratz had been off the market for about a year and a half, though 2014 had a few releases. There was Duct Tape Fashion and My Passion, second edition or second wave. And those were kind of just for some international retailers who still wanted Bratz on shelves. American companies are more willing to do that for some reason. I'm not sure why. But it's always interesting, and I feel like it really adds to Bratz lore. And some of those dolls actually ended up on this shopping app called Holler in 2016, and they were super cheap. I want to say between $10 to $15. And I scored a lot of deals off Holler, but now it's officially closed, unfortunately. So that is a shame, but you know, hey, it's life. Coming back to Bratz before the 2015 reboot, I had kind of taken a break from Bratz. I was in high school and I was just so focused on my life, and I had been so involved in the Bratz community in my free time, but then my free time was a little bit more taken up by extracurriculars and being a high schooler. Like, I was doing drama club after school, I was doing like anti-drug prevention, and shout out to all my friends because I'm friends with almost everybody from like those things. I love that. Like, I still like keep in touch, and I'm like, it's 10 years later, and sometimes we'll like work together, so it's nice. Because that was kind of like a dark time for me, but I think it was because it was more when I was coming out of the closet and figuring my ish out. And I was like, you know, I had come out sophomore year. My freshman year was interesting. I actually dated a girl my freshman year of high school, and it didn't work out, which is okay. I think we're cool now. I think we were cool. We actually went to Dave & Buster's for our senior like graduation thing, so that like people wouldn't go out and do drugs and drink. They took us to Dave & Buster's after school or after the graduation. So yeah, fun times. It was really fun, actually. I would kill to like do that again. Anywho, we like Bratz fans were kind of like starving for something. V and Va came out at the start of 2015. I actually bought Roxy. They recycled a few names, of course, from Bratz, like Valentina. I don't know if that was intentional or an oversight, but I think Roxy and Felicia were definitely not an oversight. I think that was a direct pull from the Bratz franchise. And then if you want to learn about all the Bratz, you know where to go. It was a cute line. The hair was disgusting. It was polypropylene fiber, so of course it was. Check out the hair guides. That was my junior year of high school. I was 16, so I wasn't like making money like that because I was doing like extracurriculars and stuff, and I was the president of drama club. So yeah, that was my experience with those. And then Bratz 2015 started leaking around like May or June, and they popped up in stores. Someone had found them and people were freaking out. And the dolls, I will say, at first glance I saw them, I was excited because they looked like knockoffs. And I had this Bratz knockoff obsession in like the early 2010s, so I was a little excited So I was like, they look kind of fake. And I kind of love that. And in a way, like, I feel like current Bratz have this sort of vibe to them that's like, reminds me of like the really good quality knockoffs in a sense, but more enhanced, like more like, okay, like this is refined. I think because of the Tampo screenings. We do have to talk about Tampo screenings because that is what the Bratz 2015 dolls used. It affected us long term. Trust, Bratz 2015 is still like lingering, and a lot of people are afraid to confront it. So some people are not afraid to confront it, and I applaud them, like Chloetta, if you're listening and watching. I have a soft spot for it, but for personal reasons and because I was excited for Bratz to reboot and I had a chance to start fresh with the brand. I always was looking for an opportunity for me to like collect a line and to consistently collect. And I think I've been able to do that okay with this current era of Bratz from like 2021 or let's say 2018 on, I would say. Still stuff I'm missing, but I'm not like too pressed about it, like some mini Bratz. And I would love to get like more of those gentle monster outfits, but I'm not paying those prices. I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna live without them. But I'm grateful for what I have. We actually have Jenna out here in the background in the Space Angels cruiser, and she's on top of 2 Bratziversary Jades because one is going to my fiance, and I want to keep one in the box. So, because I'm greedy, I'm a greedy Bratz collector, whoop-de-doo, okay. And I think Jenna's an interesting example of a really exclusive collab that feels a little bit out of reach for Bratz fans, but we don't often talk about V-Files, which we'll be talking about, who is in the purse. So I did not find any Bratz 2015 in the stores leading up, in the weeks leading up, but I did have a plug at the time who sent me stock pictures to every single like Bratz doll that was releasing in the fall of 2015, and I was gagged. I saw everything. I saw the selfie sticks, I saw the sleepover parties, I was seeing like certain prototypes. Like, I really shouldn't be saying that, but I had a falling out with that person, so I don't care anymore. 2015 Bratz, like, I was like fully into it, and I was like, okay, like I wasn't there for Bratz in 2001, because my future video on my birthday, I'm gonna talk about my Bratz collecting journey and how I became a Bratz collector and how I kind of became Lookin Bratz and built Lookin Bratz, the website. We'll talk about that maybe in this video a little bit. The inklings of Lookin Bratz started around this era because as we entered the new era, I wanted to preserve the old era of Bratz. I felt like there were certain pieces of the puzzle of Bratz that were missing. There were items that I remembered as a kid that I could no longer find on the internet. There was something I still can't find is this Passion for Fashion Diamonds DVD promotional bookmark that schools were able to purchase, possibly through like Scholastic or I don't know where, but it have been through 20th Century Fox. I'm not sure, but things like that. I was like, I remember having these things as a kid. I no longer have them. What happened to them? And why is there no record of them? So my thing was like, I want to create a record of everything. Wikipedia would always have lists, and people would start their own archives. There was Bratz Boulevard, and that friend I had a falling out with, who actually was telling me don't make lookinbratz.com. He didn't want me to do it because he was doing it for 2015. But I was like, well, I'm going to be doing it for the old product, so I won't be like stepping on anyone's toes. And Bratz Boulevard wasn't active at the time because the 2 people who ran it were interning at MGA Entertainment. There was some cool things happening at the time. Everybody was like generally excited, anticipating, looking forward to what Bratz was going to be and what Bratz could be in the future. And I remember being so excited. Like, Bratz is my cup of tea. Bratz is my choice of drug. So I was just ecstatic about Bratz and like this reboot. I was like, I can experience Bratz from the beginning in a sense. And now as an adult, I realize I really can't experience Bratz from the beginning. I hold the memories of like growing up with Bratz so dearly in my heart, and seeing it being changed and rearranged so much has really made me understand why I loved Bratz. 2015, I think, is funny in its own way. Like, it's there in the Bratz lore, but it's kind of treated like an alternate universe of sorts, so I like exploring it as an alternate universe. My mom and I pre-ordered Chloe, Yasmin, Sasha, Jade off of ToysRUs.com And each doll came with a free pair of shoes designed by Shirami, who used to work at MGA Entertainment. He was one of the lead designers on Bratz 2015, along with They're very talented people, and I think they were working with not the best marketers in that situation. And there's tea on that, but I just don't want to like trash anyone in that sense. But there wasn't the best leadership in certain leadership positions on that team. And from what I've heard, the Bratz 2015, some of the marketing team really just did not like Bratz when it was like Bratz. Like, these people came from like different companies, different backgrounds. Bratz just wasn't like something ever on their radar in the past, so they just did not get it. So I think that may have been what translated to what we got, which was what we got. And I think there was a lot of effort in something that wasn't the real true message of Bratz. But there's something still there. There's an essence of gratitude that's just not 100% there, but you still get like a glimpse into a world of Bratz. This always looks to me like a Bratz Kids reboot of sorts, even something along the lines of what I'd imagine Little Bratz would do back when it had Nazalia, Ailani, Zeta, and Talia. And again, use lookinbratz.com because I just don't have time to add all these links and stuff. But do your best, please. I believe in you. You can use the web. That's just my 2 cents about Bratz 2015. And as we go through, I think I'll, tell you what I really loved about these dolls and the experience I had. I think 2015 was just like one of the impacted things. It's one of the things that really impacted that year for me. And it was something that I really cherished because it was something I could get lost into a little bit. And Bratz What's Up is playing right now on my record player. That's also a Bluetooth speaker and like a million other things. I love this song. I love the song Bratz What's Up. I know she's problematic. Kim Petras is a co-writer on the original song That's What's Up by Skylar Stecker. She now goes by Skylar Simone. Kim Petras was a co-writer on the song, technically. I met Skylar Stecker. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Bratz 2015 had a lot of hype around it, and there were events in the UK, I recall, and I saw them, and I was just so excited because one of the interns at MGA at the time, who was running Bratz Boulevard, they got me an invite to the New York launch event for Bratz 2015 on July 25th, 2015. So when I'm uploading this, it'll be exactly 10 years since that happened, and it's kind of wild. I was like, oh my god, it's been 10 years since that happened. I felt like I need to talk about it. Like, we need to get into it because people ask me what my thoughts about Bratz 2015 are, and we're gonna lay it all out on the line tonight. But I have a phone case here, and it's lips, and it says #Bratz in the corner there, and on the back there is a heart. And if you see it through the light, you can actually see there's a line through the heart, which could be like omen about what Bratz 2015 is going to do to us. I always found this case interesting, and it was so bulky and so hard to get in and out of your pocket, especially if you like to wear jeans, but also any kind of pants, unless you're wearing like super silky shorts maybe. But I did not like the rubberiness of this phone case. I maybe would have preferred like a harder plastic, but it's a cute phone case. I did use it. As inconvenient as it was, my senior year, I was using this phone case for the most part. And I loved it because it meant a lot to me because Bratz sent it to me. They sent like these little like care kits to a bunch of fans who were like longtime fans, and the interns there set it up. One of those interns became a senior brand manager at MGA. A lot of things happened from that era that have impacted what's going on now, which is just so like wild but cool to think about. But I have this phone case, and I have another phone case actually, and I have a funny story to tell about it. But I got this, and they sent us these PDFs that were like guides of what dolls you could choose, and like, for the care package. And it was like all confidential. We were supposed to sign NDAs, but they never actually made us sign the NDAs. So I guess I can talk about like the whole process of it. There was a little note card, there were stickers, there was like a tattoo that you could put on your like arm or something, like a spray bottle tattoo. So it was, it was really cool. It was really exciting, and it was good to be a Bratz, for real. And I was just fully obsessed with the era. I was so in it. I was ready to fully embrace it. And I did. I think I did embrace it the best that this was my senior year of high school I was going into as the era would continue on. And I would be a little less involved with buying dolls for myself. Like, I was going to college and I was saving money. I treated myself the best that I could, but I didn't get quite everything. And there's even dolls from like full collections that I don't have from 2015, or dolls that I like would really like actually from 2015. Like, I do have a little wish list of dolls from 2015, so I have time to make up for, even with eras that were a decade ago. I would still like to revisit them in some ways. This is me kind of skimming the surface because I'm not going to do much with the dolls in these buckets, but I just want to go down memory lane and maybe like fix them up a little bit, because there's bubble wrap and they're kind of like getting stuck together, like to the bubble wrap. So I want to get rid of the bubble wrap preferably, but that's my main goal tonight. I have another case. The inside is similar. There's actually a slit in this heart, if you can see it. This is hashtag Bratz. The lip shape is the 2015 lip shape Escandalo. People don't like these lips. I liked them at the time. The bottom lip was a little wild. But these were actually, they were selling Victoria's Secret versions of these on eBay. So I think these were like a blanket case that you could get like, I don't know, like drop shipped from China. Like, it's not a bad thing. Like I you know, it's just the business, I guess. And I have a special doll in my bag, and her name is V. She is, I think she's a Virgo. Her lucky number is 666 or something like 69, I think. It was something silly. I remember it was something silly. I think she likes boba tea, which is gnarly. I don't know. I think I'm getting her bio wrong, but you can go to lookinbratz.com. She has a character profile on there with more information. I love this doll. I love her bag. She was $100, and I begged my mom to buy her for me on Thanksgiving night, and I thought she was gonna sell out, but this doll didn't sell out for years. Also, she has some schmutz on her face. Not because she was so expensive, but she does have the most gorgeous face. I love her hair, even though mine has gone through it and is yellowing, because it is Saran hair, and Saran hair yellows over time. I think she has a unique screening, and it gets reused in 2016, but this is sprayed. And sprayed is what most of the original Bratz use on their faces. Like, that's the application method. And then 2015, 2016, it was all stamped, tampo, sticker, whatever you want to call it. And this one specifically was sprayed, which I don't think justifies the $100 price tag, but hey, it's something, right? In ways, V reminds me of Jenna, and I think it's the lips and the open mouth mold. It's the open mouth mold, which all the 2015 Bratz had. I don't think any of them had a closed mouth, because this was an original sculpt. This was a new sculpt for 2015. But the V Files, she's you know, she's been well loved. Like, her sleeves are a little damaged. She's been on the shelf for a long time, for 10 years now. And she's gone through like 2 different moves of houses. So my V Files, I love her. I love her big hoops. They gave these to a few of the dolls, I think, in like fashion packs and stuff. I'm a little cold. I have a cold right now. I might sound a little sicky poo in this video. I also have an LOL surprise, because I think LOL surprise is a direct result of Bratz 2015 not performing well. I think MGA needed to recoup their losses, and they took a chance on LOL surprise, and it ended up being a major hit. And I loved LOL surprise when it first came out. I think one day I'll do a separate video about LOL surprise, but I will say this much. I love MGA products. I've always championed a lot of MGA products, especially in like the girls range. I love Rainbow High. I've loved everything since I was a kid that was like a girls property from MGA. I've just been in love with. It's always been super duper fun. And I would get accused of being paid by MGA back then, and I didn't have a platform. I was not Lookin Bratz back then. I was starting to make Lookin Bratz, but I wasn't Lookin Bratz. And I got accused of being paid by MGA to promote LOL Surprise, and the same person who said that actually is obsessed with LOL Surprise now. They like adore LOL Surprise. They've done more promo for LOL Surprise than I think I've ever done in my life, which is like the most ironic part of it. And maybe one day I'll talk more in depth about that. I just found it so funny. but I've never been paid by MGA to promote before like 2022. So that is hilarious. Ella Was Surprised launched in 2016. This one is fresh. Here's her back design. She has like a safety pin on the back. I never noticed that detail really. I wasn't like aware that that was there. But I felt like her and this one actually, Swag, MC Swag, I felt like they were inspired by Bratz, but also inspired by V-Files, and I always see them as kind of like sister cousins in that sense. And of course, OMG wouldn't have happened because if it hadn't been for the Bratz 2015 reboot underperforming, like LOL Surprise, I don't think would have happened. So it's interesting, like, you know, how everything kind of falls into place. But it's sad that these things happen at the expense of Bratz. Here's her little shopping bag. I think it fell off of her. This one came with the doll. And, oh, my name is Lookin Bratz, and I am an influencer. I have trading cards on my website. Please check them out. I have a bunch in stock still, and I would like to share them with the world. I lowered my prices. I'm trying to make these as accessible as possible. I might lose money, but at least more people will have my product. All right, we got bins. And we also have a fun surprise of some unreleased stuff. All right. Also, I went to that Bratz event in Times Square. It was the third floor of Toys R Us, that iconic Times Square Toys R Us. I watch Eloise during Christmas time or something like that. You'll see it there. And it's iconic. Like, I think it's in, or FAO Schwartz. Like, it's kind of like the FAO Schwartz of the 2000s, I would say. If that makes sense. It's a really iconic building. It was built the same year that Bratz debuted in 2001. So, very, very iconic. Great things happen in New York. Lately, I'm like, there's nothing happening in New York. Bratz doesn't do anything in New York. Toy companies are not going out to New York, and I'm like, damn, like, I'm finally old enough to go to New York by myself. I'm also finding plastic ties in the back of their heads, and I'm like, why didn't they get rid of it sooner? One day I'm gonna like do a spa day for all of these Bratz dolls, and I don't know if I'm gonna display them all, but I do want to display them at some point. But I got Study Abroad Yasmin. That was my first 2015 Bratz doll, and I love her so much. Although right now, I think she's packed up. I think I packed her up, but I packed her nicely, like in tissue paper. I packed up a lot of dolls recently just to make space for new dolls and just to keep some dolls in rotation. So yeah, right now, I don't know, aside from V-Files, who I do keep on display, I don't think 2015 Chloe Study Abroad is out. I was really, really like strict with my cleaning this time around, like when I last like deep cleaned my room, and I rearranged a lot. So I'm gonna do a video on a lot of that soon, so stay tuned. And there's bits of my 2015 collection that I show in another video that I recorded months ago, like back in March or April, where I do a deep dive into my like doll archives, and I organize it, and I show the cleaning process, and it's kind of like my hoarder's moment. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. And then my pre-ordered Bratz dolls, I think, came a few days after I went to the event on July 25th. I met Jasmine Larian, and we took a selfie together. We had a cute little moment. I said, I just really appreciate you, and I think I said something along the lines of like, it's just so cool to meet you because you're the inspiration behind one of my favorite Bratz characters, and it's just like, it was an honor, honestly. And then we took a selfie, and because Selfie Snaps and like taking a selfie was so big at the time, she said yes, and then she said she wanted to put a filter on it, and so she put this ugly filter on it. And I was like, damn, like that is a really ugly filter. I looked really cute that day, and I just have to say, Jasmine Larian's like a gorgeous woman. She looks so stunning and ethereal in real life. I've only ever seen her in real life twice. Once at that event, and then once at the 2022 event, where I didn't utter a word to the woman because I was so intimidated. But she was stunning at the 2015 event, and I was just like so enamored because, you know, I watched her on the Girls Really Rock DVD back in the day, and I was like, wow, like it's just so cool that like the inspiration behind Yasmin is here, and she's like part of like the Bratz thing. She's part of Bratz. And Natalia Ramos. So I wasn't told about Natalia Ramos coming. I was told, or would you say Ramos or Ramos? I don't know. I've always called her Natalia Ramos. But Skylar Stecker was there. I knew about Skylar Stecker. I listened to that song. I think I've on my phone, in my Bratz case at some point, but not immediately. I was replaying the Bratz 2015 promo video with the Skylar Stecker song where they're getting like drawn to life. And I was just like so stunned by it. I felt like Bratz was like really coming back to life, and there was like freshness coming to the brand. Like, we're gonna restart the story. I've always been big about the story of Bratz. I feel like we haven't had anything super duper substantial for Bratz in terms of story since 2008, 2009. I think obviously 2009, because I really love Desert Jewels and Pampered Pets, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for Bratz to explore the universe that it's in, but it feels a little bit afraid to and a little bit shy, so that's just my 2 cents on it currently. But with 2015, I was like, okay, like they're starting fresh. There's no magazine, but there was like something kind of similar where they're running some sort of business company, the CIY shop. And I was just excited to see like what this was about and see if there were webisodes happening. But webisodes were so big back then. And you know what? I don't like webisodes as much anymore. I really need something like substantial. Like I need something like 20, 22 minutes at least. Because I think Bratz is a lot more than it gets credit for, but that's because I'm a super fan. I love that video, and it was done by the Robot Chicken people. No, what's the name of the company? Stupid Buddy Studios, who did Robot Chicken for some time, and then I think Bratz was one of its first major projects after Robot Chicken. And it was just so cool because Bratz had never really done stop motion as much except for Cool Bratz, which is lost media. Yeah, check out Lookin Bratz. And I also redirect to a lot of different resources that have more information as much as I can. So check it out. I think it's worthy information to keep in mind if you want to, like, you know, learn about Bratz lore. I was excited. I thought it was fun. They introduced Raya into the fold. So she's called Raya in 2007, and then we call her Raya in 2015. And yes, they are 2 different characters in my head, and I know Bratz is trying to retcon that and make them one character with the flauncher fashion. And I respect it. I'm like, that's fine. Whatever. As long as she gets to be 2007 Raya a little bit more, I'm fine with it. I have 2007 Raya, actually. Wow. Raya. I have Raya. I have 2007 Raya. Magic hair Raya. I got her last year, or maybe earlier this year, I forget. And she was a decent price. Her hair is very cut up, though. She doesn't have her original outfit. And she's in my, like, super duper future, far in the future Reboot bin. So we'll talk about her another time. We're talking about Bratz 2015 here. I loved the 2015 Reboot. I thought the song was really good. It was catchy. And I was like, yeah, the Bratz, what's up? That is what's up. It was, like, corny. It was cute. It was childish to a degree. I think because I loved brands like the spinoffs like Bratz Kids, I felt like, wow, this would have been so much better if it was a bit more like Bratz Kids based. If they had just built up the original Bratz brand a little bit more, because the Bratz brand has a lot of attitude. It's a little bit more mature, but it's not supposed to be too risky, but just like, you know, at the time we're talking about like teenage girls. These characters were teenage girls. So I thought the cutesy thing kind of made sense at the time. I think emojis were like big in fashion, unfortunately. And I would never like to really revisit that fashion, even though like I loved like holographic things. I think holographic things like items and school supplies and stuff were all the rage back then. I loved them at the time. I just don't think I'm here to like adapt to it in like such heavy doses anymore. But I really appreciated Bratz 2015 for what it was at the time. I don't think I would want to revisit any of this for the official Bratz brand ever again. And I think MGA would rather not do that either, so I think that's something they understand, and we don't need to like yell at them about it. And you don't need to yell at me about it because I don't care. Okay, we have my bin of dolls here. Oh, okay, we have a lot to go through. Selfie Snaps photo booth, Chloe. Pretty. Though I wish her hair was different, because not only did they reuse the same screening and hair combo for this Chloe, it was used on the original Selfie Snaps Chloe, and it was also used on the Selfie Stick Chloe. And there was also a Selfie Stick Jade. And it was just a lot of the same dolls, and I was like, couldn't they just like switch up the hair and the makeup a little bit? The makeup was very stale in this era. As a doll overall, she's a cute doll. I think she's a cute doll, especially for that time. If they release this now, I would think it was a joke. All these dolls are out of order, by the way, so if you're going in chronological, just keep a few tabs open if you need to. Selfie Snaps, 2nd edition, Sasha. There are some dolls I've opened, some dolls I have not opened. I was more excited to play and possibly mix and match with certain dolls, so I kept some in the box, and I deboxed others. Here is my Selfie Snaps Sasha. She is cute. The hair is interesting. I liked this hair combo, like the sort of concept of it, more on Alt Girl from LOL OMG. But I think it's fun for this Sasha. Again, I think the face diversity like really is a big part of Bratz, you know? That's why I made the Bratz screening guides on lookinbratz.com. My name is Chloe with hard ass plastic ties in the back of her head. Her hair is pretty good intact. It would just need like, you know, maybe like a little wet combing. I do feel like there's a little bit of residue in the hair, and I don't know like if it's just over time. Was it conditioner? Was it like product, like glue from the head? I don't think Bratz really have ever had glue head. The way that Mattel dolls from this era like may have had glue head, or 2010s I should say, like early 2010s and late 20s, 2000s. She does have a stain on her skirt, and honestly that might just be like a fabric dye or something coming off. I love her shoes. Of course, her shoes remind me of 1st edition Chloe. I think that was meant to be a direct callback to that Chloe, because this was like the introductory, hello, my name is Chloe. There's a bunch of accessory variants. So the earrings, some of the phone cases have different colored accessories. You can see all the variants on lookinbratz.com. I went out of my way and documented every variant I could possibly find. And there's probably a lot more variants to come. I have a lot of updates to do. Something I loved about this era is that the bottoms of the shoes say hashtag Bratz on them, sculpted in. They used basically all new sculpts for this era, and I think they put a lot of money and budget into that, rather than focusing on like the marketing of it and some of those big decisions, like the faces, like how the faces were put on. And it's sad. But they did, I think these would have delivered a little bit better had they had just like slightly more attitude in the screenings, and if they delivered on the marketing for this was like, yeah, they did such big campaigns for it, but it wasn't like appealing. It wasn't Bratz. It was a little bit, it just wasn't. And it's sad, you know, that's what it was, but they did deliver some decent quality dolls, I will say. Saran hair on Big Bratz. This is the first time a Big Bratz doll had Saran hair. Her and Chloe, I got these for $10, I think, each. And I'll tell you how. So I was on the hunt for Bratz clearance and Bratz sales back in the day. I would price match. I would request a price match if I went to Target or if I went to, I think Walmart used to do it, but these places no longer honor other store prices, unfortunately. We're talking about like 2015, so things were a little bit loosey-goosey. Toys R Us would price match, I think, and I remember I would like get a doll off Amazon cheaper and see if it was better than the doll I bought at the store. I would keep the good one, and then I would go return the one that was more expensive to Toys R Us. And honestly, good for me, because I wanted like a perfect doll, and I also wanted a lower price. So Big Bratz Yasmin. Gorgeous. I honestly think she's really fun. I did their hair and the rubber bands rotted, so one day they will get fixed up, but really not a priority right now for me. The outfits on these were so well done. These were originally $50. And they came in really cute packaging. I really loved the packaging. I almost contemplated not taking them out, but I wanted to give them hairstyles, so I unboxed them at some point. They have earring holes too, which not even like regular Bratz have anymore. The purses were really well done. She has like a nice fringe and she has studs on her purse, and the fabrics are really, really nice. These like shawls, or like kimono style shawls, were so popular. All right, let's put her off to the side because she's very big. And we're gonna take a sip of coffee. We have Chloe, and I love her so much. She's a doll I wish that got produced as a regular size Bratz doll. Her jacket, this style was so popular at the time. I had a shirt from, I think, American Apparel that was similar to this, like very color block. I don't know if I still have it, unfortunately. I hope I do somewhere. It might be in a closet. We have like zipper detailing. It's not a real zipper, but for the time, that was really good. And it still is good. Like, I would still take that over a real zipper any day, especially for a doll like this. This cording is nice. The purse is just perfect. This purse is perfect. The shoes, they're kind of clownish, but they work so well because she's kind of like a clownish doll in a good way. I also redid her hair, obviously. And they kind of have that blank stare that the Bratz 2015 dolls had. But if this had happened at any other point, I would have loved it. And the shirt is very Treasures Chloe. I was fully obsessed with the big Bratz that came out that era. Only these two are funky fashion makeover heads. And I got them. I have them new in the box. They unfortunately have polypropylene hair. And I don't think we've really had a Bratz funky fashion makeover with nylon hair yet. We've had a big Bratz with nylon hair, but I would like to see funky fashion makeover heads make a comeback, and big Bratz, because we did get the Kylie one, which was kind of crazy. I didn't expect that to happen. Okay, a quick look. I found my thing with the trading cards. Here is the full collection. If you buy the full collection on lookinbratz.com, bundle deal. I worked with the vinyl scene on the artwork. He did the key artwork for the relaunch I did last year on lookinbratz.com. Logo design by my friend Son of Arrows, and there was a special contribution from LMAO It's Coco. So definitely get these. There are more on the way, and I'm working with a ton of cool artists, and we're looking forward to, you know, sharing our passions with people. We have more Hello, My Name Is dolls. I actually used these in a reel last year where I made fun of the 2015 dolls at the expense of uplifting the new dolls from Bratz and also the 2018 dolls and the original Bratz. So I made fun of the 2015 dolls. Lighthearted though, we have Yasmin. I really wish she had came with the flower headband in her promotional pictures, but unfortunately not to be found on her. It come with a flower crown in music festival vibes, but I left that doll in the box. But I did get music festival vibes Sasha, and I opened her because I wanted her hat to give to this Sasha, because this Sasha had a Buddy Boo hat in her prototype pictures, but she did not get produced with one, so they gave it to Music Festival Vibe Sasha in 2016. Here's her hair. I really like this auburn shade that they used. It looks really good on Sasha, and I wonder if there's like a nylon variant that, you know, a version of that color that they could use on Sasha. I really loved Sasha's look. I think she pulled it off probably the best out of her peers. Chloe was honestly also a good doll. I think these were my top two of this line, because Chloe is really like referential to her 2001 doll. And to her benefit, her outfit reminds me so much of Birthday Bash Chloe. It has like almost a very similar silhouette. There's denim, there's a pink skirt, and it always gave me that vibe. And I don't know, people have told me that I was crazy for that. Sasha has like orange and blue, which I think are really like her colors, her shoes and stuff. It's just very of that era. I love the animal print leggings. I love the animal print leggings, and I think honestly as a doll as a whole, even without the hat, I think she works really well design-wise. And then we have Hello, My Name is Jade, who is a doll for her design, because she's very much daring, and Jade is a very daring girl. She comes with a cat bag that I am obsessed with. I would love for them to like remake that cat bag for a doll in the future. Files. Get the files and print some more in different colors. I don't know if I have it on me, but we'll look for it if we do. We might find it. I love her earrings. I think her outfit's nice. I think Style Jade that's coming out this year looks kind of similar to this one, but a bit more enhanced. The shoes were cute. I think as an introductory doll, I don't know how I feel about her, but I think she's fun. We have Music Festival Vibes Sasha. I'll give it to Bratz because they did listen to fan feedback back then, and they were trying to like deliver better dolls in 2016, even with like the tampon method and all of that. The tampon method. Here is Music Festival Vibe Sasha. Her curls would desperately benefit from a refresh, so she might be on my bucket list of hair to redo along with the other 2015 Bratz. It's so stuffy right now. I'm so sorry, y'all. Her outfit was really cute, but I think it was like great design, bad timing for Bratz. This is Hello, My Name is Cameron, and he ended up with a fabric hat. Out of everybody, he ended up with a fabric hat. And so did Selfie Snaps Chloe. So Cameron and Chloe were officially a couple in this era. There were a few things confirming this in the lore of Bratz at the time, but Cameron never appeared in any Bratz media of that era. In fact, none of the secondary Bratz characters appeared in media despite making several appearances in the main brand during this era. And I find that to be just crazy, and I think they were trying to pull the plug on Bratz in that era earlier than maybe we might think they were. Like, I think they kind of knew Bratz was kind of not going in a good direction, and they pulled the plug sooner than when we could have expected more new products. I'm surprised we even got Instapets as the final line of that era, but we'll talk about that later. Hello, My Name is Cameron is a doll who went on clearance for $3 and was stuck in Toys R Us till at least 2018. I remember what birthday was it? I think it was my 20th birthday. It was 2018. My aunt had just died. Rest in peace. I went to Toys R Us with my friends. We had just went to TGI Fridays, had a nice meal, and then we headed on over to Toys R Us because I wanted to treat myself with the little money I had left over, and I was looking for some LOL surprise. And I found a bunch of Cameron for $3 in a clearance section. And I was like, this is wild. I didn't buy any of him because I already had him and I had no real desire to buy more. I'm going to confirm a few things because I think he has a different head mold. Yes. New head sculpt, and his body is 2002. So I think I have the information right on lookinbratz.com. He's not a bad doll. He kind of has, I don't know, he's a very wide-eyed look, a little bit of like an anime style, I might say. I don't know how to describe it. I think the head sculpt is actually pretty cute. The articulation is pretty nice. He does have pierced ears. And he has a side, like, interesting haircut. I don't know if they plan to do more boys this era. Like, I wonder, like, what the thought process was behind every decision made in 2015. Like, what was designed? What really made it to shelves that maybe didn't have to make it to shelves? I guess Cameron was one of those things. Because I would love a Bratz Boys reboot, but I don't see them being confident enough to do that at the moment, so that is kind of sucky. But hopefully they never do it like this again. It's like, not a bad doll, but like, it's not Bratz, you know? We have like a big glob here. Oh, and we have a head. Oh my. And I have my pull-up doll, wow. All right, I'm going to try to find like a Sudafed or something that I can take, clear up my like mucus or mucinex maybe. And I'm gonna take a small break because I'm gonna take off the sweater. I'm getting warm. And I'm gonna maybe grab some water, some more water. So yeah. Before we head on into break, my doll of the day, or my doll of the moment, let's call it doll of the moment, is V-Files, because I'm really happy that I have her in my collection. And I want to take it over to the doll of the hour. I'm going to hand it on over to my good friend, the girl underwater herself, Serena. And if you don't know who Serena is, she is someone I've known in the community for probably a decade now. I think I met her around the 2015 era, so I think she's going to have a good grasp on what 2015 was like for Bratz fans. And yeah, take it away, Serena.
Hello, Lookin Bratz video. It is I, Girl Underwater, here to express some thoughts about, that dreaded 2015 Bratz era. Now listen, two things come to mind immediately if you ask me, Serena, what do you think of when you think of the 2015 Bratz era? First of all, I think of hamburger shoes. And secondly, I think of that soundbite that people use oftentimes that's like, I think the 2015 era of Bratz is such an interesting time to look back on because for a lot of people who were collecting Bratz during that time period, it was like such a mixed bag of feelings that came with it because in a way it was so exciting because it was like, oh my God, Bratz are back, but not quite. And it was as if they kind of resurrected themselves and it was just so exciting to imagine that they were going to be on shelves again because there was, a little like 2-year-ish period where they were just lingering. Obviously, the last couple of years of the era before that were looking rough. I'm looking at you, tall Bratz. But yeah, when they came out, I will say there was certain aspects of them that were redeeming. For example, the fact that they returned to having like the huge oversized head and the big fat feet. That is something that I really loved about it. If I'm trying to find things I liked, I loved how their shoes were huge. Like they really took it back to the beginning. And I think they took reference from their own original artwork from the first era. And I loved that about it. I was like, ooh, they got these big fat shoes, big fat head. That's gorgeous, right? Well, but then, we have, and they had saran hair. They had really thick saran hair. Big head too, so there's lots of it. Those were amazing. I wish, maybe the saran pointer would be influenced into the new era. But then I feel like it was just, they were a victim of their time period of fashion. I really think so, as well as kind of the doll market, the doll atmosphere of that era too. I mean, I'm trying to think of what was going on during that time. Like, Monster High was starting to turn into G2. Bratz were looking like that. And what was their Boxy Girls? Snap Stars, was that around that time? Like, they just, if I'm honest, they just kind of sprouted in a Gump era, which sucks. But y'all, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find some nice things to say, but they were whooped. They were so whooped. Their fashion was whooped. The stylizings was fried. It was very like juvenile. Obviously, I know they're targeted towards children, but I mean juvenile in like a way that even a child couldn't love, even a face a mother couldn't even love. Or what is that? They had the face only a mother could love. I just think also too, their faces were so cartoon, like they lacked dimension. They were very flat. They just looked like booger Bratz. They really did. And I'm sorry, but it was just like that selfie snaps, like little drink from the mall with my iPhone in my big sexy lips case. And, there was like the Chloe with the selfie stick. And I do think there was some pointers though, like some that did what they came to do, like Study Abroad. That line was not that bad. I feel like if Study Abroad was reimagined into a more current line, it would be probably gorgeous. But y'all, Metallic Madness, Hello, My Name Is, that Jade with that cat dress. Oh, that Chloe top knot. I'm like getting war flashbacks. But I will say that at the time, at first, just going to Toys R Us when the dolls were released and just seeing like Bratz huge and up on the sign and they were just full of the first two lines. I think maybe the best thing that came out of that era was Selfie Snaps Chloe, because she was kind of gorgeous. Like, she had a little freckle. She was like a little, very much like the Tumblr vibe, which is cute, but oh God, you guys. I just think overall, fried, whooped, a bit twacked, certainly uninspired. Like, I think they really were just taking and grabbing from like any possible little thing that they think seems like it's trending during that time period. It's not the best era of like generalized fashion either. I mean, like very slim pickings. But yeah, not my favorite. I look back on it with a bit of a a disgust in my stomach. Like, it makes my stomach turn just a little bit. I think it's almost, when we look back on that era, it's as if we're looking back on the Bratz during their awkward puberty stage. I think it's like you had to watch them go through that, like, live. It's also interesting too because I think it's incredibly rare that collectors actually look back and enjoy this time period of Bratz. I don't really see people with them in their collections. I'm sure there is like a select group of people that are like, I love it and I didn't think it was that bad. It's like, well, that's lovely, but I think it's almost is speaking on another's taste. Wait, maybe that was rude. I don't know. Maybe cut that out. But I just think if we're looking overall, I think it should be forgotten. I think we should put it in a nice casket, give it its few measly withering flowers, and set her off into the ground to never be seen again. Yeah, overall, girls, I think they tried their best for what they were given with the time period, the current atmosphere of dolls, the way that social media was in its weird, like, birthing period during that time. So everything just came out super clunky, super awkward. Not the highest of quality, you know. The artwork was kind of hit or miss, mostly miss. Also, can we talk about that stop motion show? That Namaste ass Yasmin. They just felt like caricatures of themselves, you know? Like, they made Chloe really, like, airheaded, and they made Yasmin like a namaste. Now we must meditate. And Sasha, I don't even know what they were doing with Sasha. They just, like, amplified her. And then Jade was like the skater girl. Just like, girls. I think they felt even more less, not that they don't feel like real characters, but they felt further away from, like, the natural feeling that you get with the original era of the Bratz characters, the way that they designed them and created aspects to them. And they just felt like cartoon caricatures of them. And the stop motion was kind of cool, though, and, like, kind of good. But their hair looked all really sucked on because of that gel. But yeah, ugly. I'm sorry, girls. Ugly, ugly, ugly. What? And they will never step foot in my collection. But yes, thank you for listening to my thoughts. And thank you, Lookin' Bratz. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love, love, love you forever.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much, Serena, for sending in your thoughts and sharing your story. Looking forward to our future collaborations. And yeah, we're gonna move on with the video. We got some accessories. There was this one girl in, like, a Bratz Facebook group who would ask for accessories. She meant accessories. I knew what she meant, but I always, like, saw it and I was like, accessory. I am separating dolls right now. I just put the dolls that we've gone through in the bin, and then I've taken the globs of whatever the hell that is about to be right now. That has got to be situated, and the goal is really just to get the dolls back in the bins and just safer, I guess, not stuck into plastic wrap. But I did find a vintage find. Ooh, she's showing off some goods though. Okay, just fixed her. This is my pull-up doll. She's one of my only pull-up dolls at the moment. She's wearing a Live Fashion Pack dress, I think, or I think it's a Live Fashion Pack, and possibly Live shoes. She is Neo Angelique. She was my very first pull-up doll that I got in the spring of 2010. My mother bought her for me as a gift, and I customized the hell out of her, but, like, not in the best way. I wasn't working with a lot, and I definitely fried the hair with a flat iron. I hope one day I can purchase this doll new in the box again, complete, and keep her in her original outfit, because I don't even have most of those pieces anymore, if any. And I think it sucks that I treated my stuff that way, and I would like another chance to, like, hopefully, like, appreciate it as it is. Like, I loved pull-ups in that era, like, right before Bratz 2015 happened. Like, 2010 to, like, 2011, I had a very big pull-up phase, and I would save pictures of all the dolls from the Pull-Up Style website to my computer so that I had an archive of all the pull-up dolls that I could reference. And if that doesn't explain a lot about lookinbratz.com, I don't know what would. I will say though, lookinbratz.com, I started working on it in, I want to say May or June of 2015. And if you decide to, like, watch me after this video, because I know I'm a little crazy, I'm a crazy Bratz fan, but I in my video that I recorded last night that I'm going to post on my birthday, I talk a little bit about like how I became an influencer and how Lookin Bratz kind of evolved into different things, and then maybe like some of the lines got blurred of like what Lookin Bratz was. So I go into detail in that video about that. But I started building the database for lookinbratz.com at this point in time, right before these dolls launched. And so that's also a significant thing for me because, you know, the website I think has grown a lot and it's growing in popularity, and it's so funny to think like 10 years ago I was trying to build the website. I was just like saving pictures to my computer. Study Abroad Yasmin, I have her new in the box that I got from Amazon for like $8 on a sale. And then I got the travel case, which I have actually, it's in the other bin, but here's the doll, which was just a recycled Study Abroad Yasmin, which again, I felt like with the playsets and stuff, they were not very, like, they weren't willing to like let go of the identity of the original character. And that's where I wish they kind of just did secondary characters. I felt like something like the Sleepover Spa playset could have been Fiona, and maybe this could have been a different character. They could have done switched it up a little bit, but they were so dead set on the core 4, and I think that's when things became a little bit more strictly core 4, which I love the core 4, but I really do love secondary characters. And they did spoil us this era with some secondary characters. For the short amount of time, there were a decent amount of secondary characters, but we'll talk about them. We haven't, aside from Cameron, we haven't really hit those dolls yet. But yeah, this doll was cute, but I was okay not having her full doll out of the box. That's why I bought the travel case, because I wanted everything 2015 Bratz from this era. I did my best to buy as much as I could. An interesting choice of a doll. One of her pom-poms is missing, unfortunately. We'll probably find it somewhere, probably stuck to some bubble wrap. Oh, here it is. I don't know where it just came from. But we're gonna throw it in the bin for now, and she'll get fixed one day. This is Study Abroad First Edition Jade, and she's a cute doll. I like her pieces separately. I specifically love this yellow skirt, and I used to restyle my 2018 collector Jade in that skirt, but I did return it, I think. Or no, I got an extra one because my aunt sent me my younger brother's old Bratz dolls that he got from the 99 cents only store from that era. So I have some of those. Unfortunately, I don't have any Create a Bratz. My mom was gonna get me one, but then we kind of just forgot about it, and then she got me V-Files, so that was kind of a big deal. I really, really want a Create a Bratz still. I got one on the secondhand market used, but her body was kind of like chewed by a dog or an animal, I think, and her hair was like really not in the best condition, so I'm hoping to get one new in the box. And I scoured. In 2018, I think they started popping up 2017, but in 2018 I was in California like searching it through every 99 cents only store I went to. Could not find Bratz, let alone a Create a Bratz. And they were selling them like in like bulk at some of these stores, and rest in peace to the 99 cents only stores. I think they might still be keeping some open, but I haven't been to California in a minute, so I could not tell you. I talk deeply about that in my upcoming video that I keep talking about. And the 99 cents only store isn't like 99 cents. It was like 99 and up, and like the whole gimmick was the number 99. You'd have to like kind of see it to know it and understand it. We have Study Abroad Sasha, who I absolutely adore. She's giving me like very pretty and punk vibes, but also kind of like royal British. Like she's trying to prep it up a little bit. She is like prep and punk. She has blue highlights. She was, you know, trying to do something crazy for the Teen Vogue party. She wanted to switch it up. So she sat down with Isaac Lariat and said, I want to make history. And this is why she has blue streaks. This doll was really cute. She was one of my most wanted dolls. Her shoes, I don't know if these were her original shoes, but I did put them on her, possibly. I do like the shoes on their own. I like them with different outfits. I don't know how those ended up on her, unless those are her original shoes, but I kind of don't want to believe that. Sleepover Party. I love a sleepover line. Ironically, I did not post my Slumber Party review yet. I will eventually. But Sleepover Party, I thought was a really cute line. It was a Walmart exclusive in the US, and there were budget versions of this line. Snow-Kissed, Hello My Name Is, Selfie Snaps, Study Abroad, almost all the lines actually. All got some sort of budget version re-release later on, and some of the Sleepover Party girls got a budget re-release. I don't recall who, but it's on lookinbratz.com. But I got her at Walmart at some point, and she was actually very cute. I liked her accessories. I like the pets that they came with, though I don't know if I have the pets on me quite yet, but we might find them. We have Metallic Madness Chloe. I think, yeah. I don't know why I opened her. I didn't really like this doll. But, you know, I think I would have liked her in the grand scheme of things. This outfit is cute, but I don't think it's cute for the theme that they were going for. And also, I don't like the bodies. They're a little too Monster High for me. They kind of just have, like, they're posed a little oddly, and I don't like the way that they look on display. And I don't think they're good for play. These are cute. I think the outfit's cute. I just wasn't a big fan of Metallic Madness Chloe, personally. The 2-pack was cute. I think if I ever do, I might open Metallic Madness, like the 2-packs that I have, which I show off in a future video, but not yet. So this is my Selfie Snaps Jade, who I did customize. I was really big on Space Buns this era. I loved the Spice Girls. I loved Scary Spice. I was really big on the Spice Girls in high school, which was a little bit later than when the Spice Girls were like out and about and doing a lot of projects. But I became obsessed with the Spice Girls. I became obsessed with S Club 7 in high school. I loved Space Buns, so I did want to try to do them on some of the dolls. And I think I did an okay job, though I think I would do a much better job now if I ever try to recreate this. The shirt is LOL. It has it in the Bratz font, which is funny. Jewelry, I think, might be from one of the Metallic Madness dolls. Maybe Raya. We'll call her Raya for 2015. And her headband is from Fierce Fitness, I want to say. The pants, we have to talk about the pants because we have to actually talk about one of the original people coming up in 2015 was that doll Couture. He made custom Bratz clothing and custom Bratz dolls, and he actually made one of Beyonce back in like 2014, I want to say, and Beyonce reposted it, which was a major deal because he was, you know, a Bratz collector, and that was like a big deal for the Bratz community, so that was just so cool. And then when 2015 Bratz were coming out, he had gotten some of them a little bit earlier. I think he found them earlier, and he was making custom clothes. I don't know if he made these pants, so I might be talking out of my ass right now, but we are going to be encountering some of his pieces in these archives because I was privileged enough and so happy that I was able to get some of his pieces from this era. Like, I haven't seen him really do anything, I think. I could be wrong. Unless he's somebody else and I'm confusing him, but I really loved his clothing, and he made really good clothing for the era and a little bit more like Bratz, like real Bratz aligned clothing. Selfie Snaps Yasmin, her face is so mean. She's such a meanie weenie. I did her hair, I gave her braids, and I tied it in the back, and then she has like Wi-Fi earrings. I think this doll is mostly intact, though this skirt I used to match with the matching top that came in one of the fashion packs, but I think I just put it back on her. I don't know when I did that, but at some point. These dolls were on display in my bedroom, my old bedroom at my old house, for about 2.5 years maybe. Before I packed some of them away, I kept some on display. This is Instapet's Yasmin, who I did rebody. And V-Files actually has an unarticulated body, but I switched these two dolls' bodies. I popped the heads off. What I do is I pop it down, I push it down, and I just try to pop it off. Sometimes I use hot water. That's all. I only do that for Bratz dolls, really, and only certain Bratz dolls, but that's just my method. I trust myself a little bit more, so if you don't trust yourself, then maybe explore alternatives. These dolls were very cute. They're very reminiscent of the Icons line, and in a similar vein, I feel like the Icons line is the Bratz send-off line of 2009, and they're all in like their icons, like Bunny Boo, Angel, the pig, Pretty Princess the Frog, and then Cool Cat. Like, I really loved that line. And they had suitcases, which felt like, oh, they're kind of packing up. And then 2015 Instapets is their final line, ironically. And they're all kind of dressed themed, a little bit more themed than Icons was. I think Icons was a little bit more mature. This one took the theme a little literally, and they hammered in the fact that they were wearing their icons. These had articulated bodies, but that's like the only line that had articulated bodies this era, I think. Sweet Style Yasmin, who honestly is like a really like adorable doll. I love her design. Sweet Style was one of the first lines that came out in 2016. It was meant for the spring. And I believe these were Target exclusive. A lot of the dolls in 2016 became a Target exclusive, aside from maybe music festival vibes, which I recall going to Walmart. We have Sweet Style Yasmin here. I think I have almost all the Sweet Style dolls. Maybe I don't have Sasha, but these were very cute, very themed, very budget. Fixed a lot of the issues with the faces, like the eyebrows were a little bit more full and they looked a little less scary because they looked a little scary on the 2015 dolls. I like the headband, I like the dress. She kind of looks like she's dressed for like a school dance, for like a middle school. So I guess for like what they were going for back then it worked. But again, I think these things would have been cuter for like a Bratz kids reboot, which I would not want unless the Bratz brand was like super stable and established, which at this time it really just was not. Which it could have been, but it just wasn't. We're getting to Rhea, finally. There's a Rhea doll in the mix, and it's one of my favorite dolls of this era, and it's Metallic Madness Rhea. Metallic Madness was meant to be like the anti-prom line, and that was a big thing in the mid-2010s, especially with like a lot of the MTV era shows that were out, and like the movie GBF was like popular with some of the teens at the time. I dressed Rhea in her second outfit because it definitely is her best one. I love the fur coat. I love the simple pieces, and I think Bratz works a little bit more well with like simple, sometimes like a simplified piece because of their smaller stature and smaller scale. Obsessed with the bee heels. They're a little random, and I feel like these would have worked better with her Hello My Name Is outfit, which we'll see soon. Maybe not for this line. I don't know when or where the burger shoes would have made sense, unless there was like a Bratz Good Burger collab. But we'll see the burger shoes soon. These ones were cute. I like the bee shoes. I just don't think they work well with this outfit. I don't like them with this outfit. I felt like they may have wanted us to mix and match, but no. Also, the skin tone of the shoe to the leg is atrocious. That is like orange foot. That is an orange foot. I do see some burger shoes in our future. We are going to show you my, we have a That Doll Couture piece. This is my Selfie Snaps Chloe, whom I have customized. She has her original shoes and her original skirt. I did her hair like Ariana Grande's and gave her a little tiny ponytail up to right there. She's wearing her clear glasses. I actually liked her outfit a lot, but I wanted to customize her because I also had the Selfie Snaps photo booth Chloe out of the box, though I think I might redo her to be her original doll one day. Her shirt is from That Doll Couture. She's wearing the pig halter top. It's really cute, and it works really well for this era. Yeah. Oh, so I'm like nostalgic for this now. Really, really love. This was one of my favorite dolls. And this is Music Festival Vibes Jade. She desperately needs her hair redone, and I think she needs to go back on display soon. I love the alien theme. I loved a good, like, campy alien green. Like, it's green. She also has an alien backpack, and I would kill to have an alien backpack like this. And I used to eye them so much on eBay back in the day, but I don't know if they still make stuff like that at the moment. Maybe the cycle will come back around and these things might come back in style one day, but it's kind of like giving like 90s, but she's very like kiddish. You know what I mean? But she was fun. I like the shoes. The skirt was fun. I don't know. She was like a cutesy doll. Again, something that would have worked better maybe for like a Bratz Kids reboot. I cut the hood off of her jacket. I actually took a cue from another collector who I think hates me, but it's okay. Oh, I have a Selfie Snaps Jade here. This might have been the Selfie Stick Jade, to be fair. And her head is really popped up. Her neck peg is so long. She is in her original outfit, but the hair is redone. I wanted to do something similar to her 2001 hairdo in the commercials, which I also did on my 20 years repro Jade. My 20 years repro Jade back in 2021. I have Study Abroad Rhea, who was a really, I thought she was a cute doll, but I wanted to give her a fashion pack. And so I dressed her head to toe in fashion and shoe pack fashions that matched the green and the orangey red tones. This is really camp. What a time. I did her hair. I was just trying to have some fun back then. For me, it was a fresh start for Bratz, and I took it as this is my chance to play with them and try to mix and match them. And I haven't really done that as much in a long time, which is kind of sad, but I felt there hasn't really been the opportunity or option to. This is BFFL Yasmin. I did match that skirt from Chloe to one of the tops from one of the fashion packs. I gave her a high ponytail, although I don't think her hair was quite long enough to make it look really good, but yeah, it is what it is. And these still have plastic ties on them. I'm really shocked. I wasn't as obsessive about some of those details as I am now, surprisingly. But there's other things that I think I'm less obsessive about than I was 10 years ago. So it's interesting. Selfie Snaps, 2nd edition. Chloe. I thought this doll was really freaking fun. The star shoes, I think this is a reused sculpt from the previous year, possibly? I don't know. But Selfie Snaps Wave 2 actually was pretty good for the time. Okay, we have this skirt, and I don't know if the doll I have here, okay, she has her shirt on. So you'll see sort of the outfit combos I was doing. I had this skirt originally and the shirt, possibly. I dressed my Study Abroad Wave 2 Kumi in this, and I think there was a matching halter top, and then I put a fuzzy scrunchie around her to use as a shawl. I wonder if I have pictures anywhere. I'm not sure. But I recently, for some reason, I undressed her because I wanted to put her back in her original outfit, but then I never ended up doing that. So she's in another bin in my doll archives waiting to be redone one day. But you might see her in my future videos. Just keep an eye out if you care. I loved what they were doing with this PVC plastic. They did this on a few pieces, I believe, in this era. And I loved the lip print skirt. It's kind of giving Superman vibes, with the color palettes. And then we have Kanekalon Queen. I kind of want to keep her out. She's kind of special because not a lot of people talk about her, but this is Kanekalon Queen. I think there was this was the only doll with Kanekalon this era. Yeah. Otherwise, all the dolls had Serena except for the Funky Fashion Makeover heads, which had polypropylene. And they only did Chloe and Yasmin, which they did again this year with the big babies, which I'm disappointed in because Sasha and Jade deserve dolls too. Megan, hello, my name is 5-Pack Megan. They did a 5-pack Toys R Us exclusive. There were 5 characters. It was the core 4, plus Megan, who now is a globetrotter character in the lore that they tried to make up for her on the back of the box. And I opened the 5-pack. I always dreamed about opening a 4-pack and a 5-pack, and they did a 4-pack a few years prior in 2012 with the fashion stylists, and then there was a bunch of multi-packs this era, and the 5-pack really just gagged me. There were supposed to be more from what I have been told, but I don't know if I'm at liberty to share all the details about that, but there are things that we could have gotten in the 2015 to 2017 era that never happened. That could have been fun. Just saying. The shirt fabric matches that skirt. I just showed you that skirt was from a fashion pack, but this Megan came with this shirt. I think this is pretty much her original outfit. But yeah, she's cute. I kind of want to leave her out. She's a lovely doll, actually. And I used to like not like Kanekalon as much, but I think I understand it a little bit better now. So like I'm open to fixing her up soon. We have Instapets Chloe, who is pig themed. I feel like I've said enough about Instapets, and those are the only 2 Instapets dolls I have. They popped up at the 99cents only stores, and in 2016, my father and my little brother, they went out to the MGA outlet in Hesperia, California. This was only around for the Christmas season in 2016. They had a bunch of dead stock left over in the MGA warehouses. They had some Bratzilla stuff. They had some Bratz 2010 stuff, possibly a mix of some older stuff. From a rumor I heard, they had the special edition 2013 Bratz, which I want desperately. Oh, I would kill to have those one day. My father could not find them, unfortunately, which is like, I wanted those so bad, but I did get some other treasures that year. And it was honestly very nice of him to go out and do that because, you know, I have a complicated history with my father, but... And it's not because of homophobia, you'd be surprised. He's a very accepting man. But yeah, this is Instapets Chloe. I think my dad got these 2 for me from that warehouse. Not the warehouse sale, but it was like a outlet sale. They had like signs and everything, but it was only around 1 season. We have Sleepover Party Chloe's shoe. And there's actually stars on the bottom sculpted in. It's very cute. It's giving original Slumber Party. And to me, in like little ways, I felt like these dolls did pay a little bit of homage to the originals, and I kind of want to credit the designers for doing that. I feel like they may have been more attentive to Bratz as opposed to some of the marketing team at that time. We have Instapets Yasmin's headband. I'm finding loose accessories here. We have some Bratz bags here. I think we have Selfie Snaps Yasmin's bag with that funny emoji looking. It looks like a Super Mario character. We have Sleepover Party Chloe's pillow, which is a plush pillow. And we have Selfie Snaps Chloe's backpack with the angel wings. I remember, I forget who it was, but there was a tutorial on the Bratz YouTube channel on how to make a bag like this. They were collaborating with a lot of different influencers at that time. It was an interesting time. And like there was like cool opportunities for influencers back then, which I kind of wish there was now, but it's fine. Hello, my name is Rhea, the infamous hello, my name is Rhea. I do think those B heels would have worked a lot better than the burger shoes. My burger shoes have been painted. I actually went out of my way and painted the details on them because they do come plain, but I added the sesame seeds. I may have painted the lettuce. If not, that may have been the one thing that MGA painted aside from the bun and the burger itself. I painted the tomatoes and I painted the cheese. And that was one of my like first like decently made like Bratz DIY projects I've done. This doll holds a special place in my heart. It's funny. It's a funny doll. You gotta like appreciate it as I throw it in a bin. This is one of my favorite dolls design-wise from this era, and honestly the whole collection. Aside from Sasha, because the Sasha I don't like. I don't like that Sasha. From BFFL, because they all have kind of cute designs. I think Chloe and Jade have like top tier designs. Yasmin's is really nice looking back, and I would change her back into that outfit high key. Maybe one day when I decide to like take care of this part of my collection again. I feel like I'm unboxing right now. But this is Jade. Her shirt says friend. It has lightning bolts on it. She has a pinstripe overalls with orange suspenders with yellow pleather hearts. Mismatched stockings. One is like a checkered plaid with some funky colors. Very Jade in my opinion. And then another stocking with hearts on it. with angel wings and like bees and logos and halos, like all different things. The shoes are kind of fun. I like the colors they chose and the mismatched laces. To their benefit, they did paint a lot of these details, especially the safety pins in the shoes. And this is like one of the times I think the makeup palettes do work well with the outfits from this era. And then she has cat ears, which are blue. This is one of my favorite dolls of that era. And I kind of want to put her off to the side and hold on to her. Now, I need to figure out where this headless Sasha came from. All right, we've got Metallic Madness Jade. She is an interesting one. She came originally with this hairstyle. I think some of the sculpts from this era, especially like the accessory sculpts, could get reused. I like to see these flowers used somewhere. These flower earrings are pretty cute. They could have done that for like the Cult Gaia collab, because I feel like Cult Gaia at some point was very like florals and stuff, and I would like to see that from Bratz. The shoes, I believe these shoes, if not the sculpt, are the ones that Shirami designed and were the Toys R Us exclusive shoes, where if you bought a Hello My Name Is doll, you get the Shirami pair of shoes in like a cute shoebox. And then we have my other favorite doll from BFFL. It is Chloe. She reminds me of Wild Wild West 2011 Chloe. That was a Walmart exclusive doll. Check out lookinbratz.com. Again, her stocking and her shoe came off, but it's okay because we found it and we're putting it back on her. She reminds me of that doll, that Wild Wild West doll, and she's just a very Chloe doll to me. But she has blue paint on her sleeve, and I was painting back then. I used to paint a lot, so it looks like I may have been trying to dye her hair. Maybe like an ombre, I forget. But these are like play dolls to me. Her outfit's very cute. She's giving like rodeo rocker, Wild Wild West. The shoes are cute. The stockings are cute. I thought her and Jade were very nicely designed dolls. I don't remember if she came with pig ears. She may have, but I didn't put them on her. Oh my god, we have Selfie Snaps Sasha, who I bought the day of that event because I had already pre-ordered the Hello My Name Is Core 4, so I knew I was getting them. I had Study Abroad Chloe, and then I went to the event not knowing what would be on shelves at that Toys R Us. That day, they only had 2 collections on shelves. They had Hello My Name Is, only the Core 4, and they had Selfie Snaps, and that was it. If you've ever been to New York City, period, but also if you've gone to like the Disney store or to the old Toys R Us flagship store, or even the new one in the Macy's, I will say the prices are gonna be higher, the taxes are gonna be higher. We ended up buying, I think, Chloe and Sasha from Selfie Snaps at Toys R Us that day. My mom loves me dearly, and I think she wanted me to be like happy, so she bought me some dolls. But it was such an exciting day that day. I got that phone case, that pink phone case I showed you with the lips. They were giving those out. They replayed that video that I replayed in the weeks leading up to the Bratz reboot on July 25th, 2015. I have a bunch of memorabilia from that day that I will pull from the archives one day and we will get into. I just right now cannot find that stuff, and I don't want to go digging for it because there's a lot. But I collected everything I could from that era. Truly collected everything I could. And that event, there was a lot of like cool like goodies and stuff. There was a lip-shaped cake. I met Jasmine Larian and took that ugly filtered photo. And I met Natalia Ramos, and that was so magical. I loved her in the Bratz live action movie. Say what you want about her, but I think the Bratz movie and just, you know, that whole experience meant so much to me as a kid. And Yasmin was my favorite character because we have a similar eye mole. So yeah, I loved her story. She was like the main character back then to me, and I think a lot of people recognize that she was. But I loved her, and I loved her in that movie, and just meeting her was like, it meant the world to me. And she's noticed me on Instagram a few times, and I'm like, oh, queen, I love her. But I also met Skylar Stecker, and she was very nice. They gave her like a throne that I think they rented from a place. And her and Jasmine Larian were like the main draws of the event. But then one of the planning people said, oh, Natalia Ramos is in town and she's going to be popping into the event. And I was like, wow, we got 2 Yasmins at the event. This is crazy. And they put all the dolls out on display. We were there super early. And there was a lot of stuff going on. I think you could like get your hair done or something, which I wasn't doing because I was a grown man. Well, I was 16 turning 17, so I was like, that's a little like not for me, but it's cool that it was there. It was a cute setup. It was really cute. It could have been planned a little bit better, but that's just now, like, I have event planning experience under my belt, like a lot of event planning experience, and I'm like, that event could have been a little bit more polished, maybe more prepared for, but it was cute for what it was at the time. I got Selfie Snap Sasha that day, and I was trying so hard for so long to replicate her hair from the 2015 Bratz web series, and I can't, because those were customized dolls based off these dolls, not these actual dolls. And I flopped so hard, but she was a very cool doll at the time. I liked her, I appreciated her. I loved the Tims that they did for Bratz in 2015. I don't know, it's like, oh, that era. What an era. As a bonus, I found Bratz Pets that I still somehow have. Thank God, though. I'm glad I have them. Sweet Style Jade with rotted rubber bands in her hair and missing a shoe. I was actually working with Mar, the Bratz, a few years ago on creating some digital dolls, and I used these shoes from one of the custom dolls. So I think her other shoe is somewhere. This doll was cute though. She has the V-Files screening, or like a version of it, because the eyebrows are changed from V-Files. These are the thin brows as opposed to the bushy brows. But this is what the eyes would look like on a stamped doll, as opposed to V-Files, who is the sprayed doll. I like the darker makeup. I thought the Sweet Style line, as childish as it was a little bit more risky with like the makeup. I liked it. And I say like dark eye makeup as if it's like a real like bad thing, but like why? Why are we so afraid of makeup? It's fun. We have Sweet Style Chloe, who is my least favorite. She's my least favorite. Her hairstyle's interesting. I like the way they pulled back those braids. And I wonder if they could make that work. Like, you know, when they do like a full head of braids on a doll, I wonder if they could use a method like this to make it work. Although it might be complicated, but who knows? I wouldn't know. I'm not in the doll industry. Paper skirt. The shoes are interesting. I like the waffle cone. I don't have much to say about her, but there's this gorgeous artwork. If you go to Chloe's character profile on lookinbratz.com in the relationship section, you'll see this really cute artwork of Metallic Madness Cameron with Sweet Style Chloe. I actually replicated this art style once for an art project I did in high school, and I did it of V-Files, and I think I replicated it really well. I did it freehand. I did not trace it. And I was trying to learn how to work with shapes at the time and how to replicate shapes, and it was an interesting like experience. And I think I did a pretty like decent job of it. I was very proud of myself. We have Sleepover Party Chloe. I remember the day I bought this doll. My ex-boyfriend and it was the boyfriend I met after I broke up with the boyfriend I was talking about earlier. And we were together for like 3 years. That was like one of my longest relationships, I think, up until like my current fiance, or the man I'm gonna marry forever. But we went to Walmart, and my ex's father worked at Walmart, so we were gonna go to Walmart and go see his dad, and we were with his best friend, and it started to rain, so we had to walk to Walmart in the rain, and I ended up buying this Chloe at Walmart, and I was excited, and I opened her at my ex-boyfriend's house. The doll was cute. I think she was a cute doll. I don't have Jade from the line, surprisingly. Here's the pig headband from Instapets Chloe, and here is Sleepover Party Chloe shoe. All right, one more doll, it seems. Wow, we've gone through a lot, and she is one that I definitely dressed up. This is Remix Yasmin wearing Study Abroad Jade's second outfit or something. I don't know what she's wearing. I don't know the pieces this doll's wearing. It's like a mix of pieces. Interesting outfit combo choices. I think I was on the money for that era, but you be the judge. You be the judge. How does this look? Was this a look on, was this Study Abroad Jade's look or parts of it, like pieces of it? I don't know. We have box dolls here and we have my suitcase. This is the travel case that came with that Study Abroad Yasmin. I went to Walmart in 2015, a few days after Christmas, and I found the travel case. It had no price tag on it. It didn't ring up at Walmart. So I went to the cashier and I said, hey, this isn't ringing up. Can I still purchase it? Is it possible to purchase it? Just like, you know, tell me if you can find out how much it is. Or I can find it on the website and show you. So I actually had pulled it up on the website on my phone to show her, but then I think the place was just so busy and they were trying to get people in and out as fast as possible, which I don't blame them because Walmart gets crazy, especially around Christmas time, or at least it used to in my experience. I haven't been there in a while. So her manager is right there, so she asks her manager. She said, how much is this? Like, there's no price. He looks at it and he says, $15. Just makes up a price on the spot. It was actually like closer to $25 at the time, but I took it. It was $15. And I had $15 on me, so I paid $15 for this. It just came with the travel case, but what I really wanted to do was put my clothes and accessories from 2015 in it. So I have a bunch of like little Ziploc bags I got from Dollar Tree, and I used to frequent Dollar Tree. Like, it was a hobby of mine, like back in that day. Oh, I have all of V-Files' outfit pieces. I have a skirt in here. I think this goes to that fashion pack with the LOL tank top that my Selfie Snaps Jade was wearing. We have the V-Files beanie. The V-Files jacket, which held up pretty well, but I'm gonna be cautious. And we have her phone, or we do have a few phone cases. I don't know exactly who they all belong to. Probably a mix of like Selfie Snaps and other things. We don't see like phone cases anymore for Bratz dolls. It's sad. Like, we're missing accessories. This was from one of those like kids beauty sets. I have like a few different cosmetic products, and if you don't know, LookinBratz.com is inspired by the Lookin Bratz cosmetics line. Kind of like me wanting to learn more about it. And then I would buy as much Bratz stuff. And I still do. As much as I can, I will try to like buy Bratz stuff, whether it be secondhand or new. This is the beauty case from one of the beauty sets. It's pretty cool, but the zipper broke over time. It's, you know, it's cheap stuff. Selfie Snaps Yasmin. I tried to keep like the paper dolls and stuff, like to the fashion packs. I tried to keep the little artworks and the names of the dolls in the accessory bags, and I saved all the accessories. Hello, my name is Chloe. Fierce Fitness Jade, who is actually a really gorgeous doll. I don't have her on me right now, but she's definitely in my archives downstairs. Selfie Snaps second edition Chloe. What I did not like about 2015 era packaging was I didn't like the shapes of them. They were a little too, like, there was too many ridges, and I didn't like that. And the artwork, they never changed the artwork up. And they did have extra artwork on hand, but they just refused to put them on the package, which was a really odd choice. Also, doesn't this top remind you of Funk Out Yasmin a little bit? Metallic Madness Jade. Again, there's like no Metallic Madness art. If you go to lookinbratz.com and you go through like the 2016 pages, you'll see some more different artwork, but a lot of it does not get used on the packaging. Like, they all use their base artwork, and I don't like it. Study Abroad, Sasha, all of her stuff is here. including her hat, which is good to know. Music festival vibes. Jade. Hello, my name is Yasmin. Hello, my name is Rhea in her B-Pack pack. Again, that would have matched better with the B heels, but whatever. I only have the belt to this fashion pack with Rhea and Jade. This looks like some Selfie Snaps or Hello My Name Is stuff. I don't know. Music festival vibes, Sasha. I can't believe I have everything. This is great. Selfie Snaps, Sasha. Ooh, we have Shirami's shoes. So this was the exclusive shoes that you got from Toys R Us. And this was really cool. I wish they did stuff like this again. You could, at some point, you could buy them separately. And on the side it says, designed by Shirami. Ah, I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I have 4 of them. Maybe one day I'll give one away. Maybe. I'm using them in different places, and I want one at least to just like have record of, because it's, you know, these things are becoming harder to find. I wonder if you could find those shoes though. I have to look it up. How easy it is to find the Shirami shoes on eBay. Sweet Style Yasmin, Study Abroad Kumi. I have all of her stuff. She's naked in a bin somewhere. Big Bratz Chloe. The Selfie Stick. Ooh, is that a dead bug? This is random, but I have random pieces from displays from Bratz 2015 because it was the first time I could take display stuff home. I don't know where the stick is to this, but I do have like the phone part, which I think is broken. They weren't like the best quality. Big Bratz Yasmin, BFFL Chloe and Jade, Sweet Style Jade, although I do think there's a shirt in there that belongs to Sleepover Party Chloe. Hello, my name is Sasha. She came with a cute boombox that we could put her cell phone in. Sleepover Party Sasha. Look at all the accessories they came with. That's wild. Study Abroad Jade. And it looks like all of her outfit pieces are mostly gone, so that may have been what ended up on my remix Yasmin. Just a paper doll. Selfie Stick / Selfie Snaps. It has the remote button for the selfie stick, but Jade. Yasmin and Sasha BFFL. I love the artwork on these because the front-facing artwork was better than the side profiles that they did. The brushes. Oh, here's the part of the selfie stick that broke. The brushes. So they had a few different brushes. For the first year, I think they did a rounded out lip on the bottom lip, but then the second year they did this funky lip. So I think they were trying to like match their aesthetic. I used these brushes in an art project my senior year of high school, and it's somewhere. Or maybe, I think I took it apart, maybe. I forget. Metallic Madness Rhea, Study Abroad Rhea with her piñata. And then we have Study Abroad Chloe. I love her, even though she's like away right now. Hello, my name is Cameron. And his accessories, he came with a bag of chips. He's like the OG Monster High G3. I think Monster High G3 is very influenced by 2015 in different ways, more than G2 was. Selfie Snaps Chloe. Remix Yasmin. This is Music Festival Vibes Yasmin's purse. No. This is Selfie Snaps Yasmin's purse, sorry. Or it might be Hello, My Name Is. Oh, and then V-Files accessories. So we have her sunglasses or her glow stick glasses, like the glow sticks, her underwear, and then accessories. She has a bunch of accessories here. And that's all I got in the thing. So when I do my future video, it's already done. It's been filmed, of course, but I haven't edited it. I haven't even really watched any of the footage back yet because it was a difficult time this year for me to like sort through a lot of my stuff. This is a little easier because I kept it semi-organized for some time. I put these away, I want to say around 2018, 2017. Around the time where the collector Bratz were coming out and I was buying a lot more vintage Bratz. I was building up my collection a little bit differently in the later 2020s. No, 2010s, sorry. The late 2010s feels like it bleeds into the 2020s in a weird way, but late 2010s, I spent a lot of it trying to like recollect older Bratz dolls and thrift. Although thrifting, I had a better experience in like the 2010s, like the early 2010s. I'm going to show you some of these box Bratz dolls, but when you see that doll storage video, there's going to be a lot more of the 2015 dolls, so stay tuned. But we do have a few. So we have Metallic Madness Chloe. So did I have her out of the box as well? Because I know I have the 2-pack and it's in a different bin. So did I have 2 of this doll? Maybe. I guess I did. Wow. Music Festival Vibes, Rhea. I wanted to open her because I really want her purse to use, but I don't want her out of the box exactly. But she was a cute doll regardless. I think the theming was interesting. It was cute for most of the girls. Hers was funny, I guess. But that Bratz established 2001 purse on the vinyl record is so cute. I have to say, I liked a lot of the accessories this era. Yasmin she does have the same purse sculpt as that other purse, so I wasn't completely off. Her flower crown is ugly as, but the little stickers are cute. I like this. It's giving flashback fever. Cute, cute, cute. Her outfit's cute though. I like this doll. She was a cute doll. That flower crown is trash though. And I wish they did the male voiceover for the commercial. If you know, you know. Remix Jade, kept her in the box. I also kept Chloe in the box. Fun fact, these were intended to be a collaboration, or at least there was an offer put out there, but they just ended up being this. I have a Sweet Style Chloe new in the box. That's pretty interesting. They did budget versions of these as well, where all the accessories were wrapped up in a bag at the bottom of the box. I don't know why they did that, but that was a thing that happened. I actually got a few of these as gifts, like from friends and family. Like I got Yasmin, and I think I got another character, I forget. I think I sold it to my friend Colin, but like a long time ago. But yeah, I have this one new in the box as well. Like the original Sweet Style Chloe. And then we have a Selfie Snaps 2nd edition Yasmin. They made a Jade prototype, but she never got produced. But Banana and Banana's mom, they have the Jade sample from Taobao, I think. So that's pretty cool. Supporting my other fellow content creators, shouting them out because we've all been coming up in the strangest of circumstances. But I think it's beautiful what we do here on social media. We share our love for dolls and our excitement for dolls. And I really love Bratz, of course. So you can see I took that era seriously because it really was a fresh start for Bratz at the time, but it really just wasn't a good era. Like, it was good in so many ways, but bad where it really counted. And that's my take on Bratz 2015. And I have a head here, and I might have a body for her somewhere, but this was BFFL Sasha, and her body, wherever it is, it has the cheerleading uniform from the fashion pack. I think it may have been a 2-pack, possibly. I wonder what happened to the body, because I don't remember changing her body at all, so that is very odd and a little concerning. I'm so happy I got to make this video. I don't know if this is everybody's cup of tea, but I don't care. I am doing a lot of this for myself because I have a lot to say, and I just want to be able to just like share my love. And I hope there are people who are as enthusiastic about Bratz as I am, who will understand videos like this and understand like what these things meant to us. And a lot of people, like, I'm gonna put these at the top of the bin because I do hopefully would like to fix them up eventually. I've gotten to know a lot of Bratz fans on the internet and connect with so many in more casual ways, but I feel like my YouTube allows me to just kind of let loose a little bit, talk, and just like basically like my own, like everything in my brain that I'm thinking about when it comes to this specific topic is gonna get vomited out, like word vomit. And I do have some samples of the Bratz spirit animals. Interesting name choice. I'm kind of glad these didn't make it to shelves. I think there's some certain connotations to that, you know, it might be tricky to like call them spirit animals when they're not directly tied to any specific culture. So maybe it's best these did not come out under this name, but that's what the name of these were called, as you can see on the logos. They're very similar to the original Bratz Pets, which you can learn about on lookinbratz.com. They have their own dedicated database pages. There was only going to be Chloe's pig, Sasha's buddy, and Jade's cat. They didn't have names. In the original Bratz lore, these would have been Angel, Bunny Boo, Pretty Princess, and Cool Cat. Yasmin's frog did not get a lot of merchandise, and I have a strong feeling it's because it holds a very strong resemblance to Keroppi. And when they announced that, well, there wasn't an announcement, but there was a leak that Bratz X Sanrio was happening this year, which is now Bratz X Hello Kitty, which we found out today, like officially, that it's going to be Hello Kitty themed. And I was hoping that we might see like Yasmin and Keroppi and My Melody or Cinema Roll and Sasha. I would like to see Chloe with, I don't know who. Maybe like Hello Kitty. She could be Hello Kitty. Or no, Jade. Jade, duh. Jade would get Hello Kitty. Chloe could get anybody. It doesn't matter. Chloe's a whatever. And Jade could also do Kuromi, or they could introduce secondary characters like Kumi. Bring some other characters back into the fold. I would have loved for that Hello Kitty line to be a little bit more diverse, but who knows, maybe in the future we could hope for something. I sound so stuffy right now, so I'm glad that we're kind of coming to a close soon. But yeah, we have Jade's purple cat. She's cute. She has bendable, no bendable ears, but she does have a posable tail, which has a wire, which is again similar to the Bratz Pets from back in the day. We have Sasha's bunny, who comes with a headband, also my comb for my dolls. I'm so tired right now. Her ears are bendable. She doesn't really have like a long tail, so that makes sense. But she has bendable ears, super cute. These are like ready to go to shelves. Basically, makes me wonder how many they actually made. I had to disinfect them though, and I sprayed them down with Febreze, because you just never know with anything that you buy on the secondhand market. We have Chloe's pig, and she has posable ears as well, and she has angel wings, which are a bit more of a sturdy, like, build on the fabric. She does have a tail as well, which is not posable, but the ears are, and the pig is really cute, I will say. But I have all this Bratz 2015 merch. I have more stored away. It was really a special era to me. It did give me a chance to feel like I could reconnect with Bratz on a level that I felt I didn't have enough time with as a kid, if that makes sense. So I wish things panned out better. At the end of the day, I blame Mattel. Although I know there's so many different factors to consider. I think if Mattel hadn't initiated that lawsuit, Bratz could have been in a much better spot in 2025, in 2015, in 2009, 2010, all the years where Bratz really struggled. Not now, I don't think Bratz is struggling now, but leading up to now, the past almost 20 years, we'll say 15 years, but almost 20 years, Bratz has gone through a lot of change, both good and bad. As a Bratz fan myself, as a diehard Bratz fan, I've accepted a lot of change. There are still some things I grapple with, but I do try to understand. At the end of the day, we're just fans. We're absorbing what's being put out into the world. As much as we have strong opinions about the brand, not everyone's vision is going to align. For me, 2015 is not the best representation. It's like the least representative of the Bratz brand in terms of messaging and branding overall. But in terms of quality and in terms of some of the care that was put into the designs and into some of the tie-in merchandise and media and like the launch event and stuff, I do think there was love there. But it was love for something that was a shell of what it used to be. And we'll leave it at that. My name is Dom. I hope you enjoyed whatever the hell this video was. And thank you for tuning in. It means a lot to me. It helps me run my website. It also helps me like get gas when I go to work, because I work, you know, I have to go to work a lot and it costs money to get gas. Gas is expensive. So any click, any view, any minute that you watch helps me incredibly. I also have a Ko-Fi account. I'm here on YouTube, so subscribe to me. I have a lot of videos coming out. I am on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on X/Twitter again. And I'm also trying to be active on Facebook soon, hopefully. We'll see about that. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for tuning in and stay tuned for more.